the first thing I would say is that, let's just say, if it's playing within a group of people, or if it's, say, going to an open mic night, the first thing is to, if you're really nervous and you do have the fear, is to see if you can just do it. Because sometimes just doing it and playing might be enough to make you think, oh, what was that all about? For some people, it's like that. It's like, oh, not to say that the nerves are going to completely be gone afterwards, for the next time, but it can be like just that hurdle of going out and doing it. So that's one thing I'd say, is if you are in that sort of condition of thinking, oh, I really can't play, but just go and do it or try it, and then that may work for you. Simple as that. But if you're someone like me at the time, it took a few years to, I can remember going to open mic nights and thinking, oh God, I have this sort of terrible fear of playing in front of people. And so how did I get over that one? Well, I think about 2000, I started in 1999. About 2005, I recorded my first album, and I was really happy just recording my own stuff. And I at that time, I thought, oh, don't ever fancy playing live. I think just sort of before that time, I had gone to an open mic night or two, and I struggled with that, and that's why I thought, no, I can't see myself ever doing this live in the future. It was an absolute no way kind of thing, I couldn't see it, and I didn't want to. Though when I went to the open mic, I did want to show what this didgeridoo was all about, and I did want to express, it's nice to be able to express yourself as well, but I did want to show what this didge was about and sort of present it to people. That was kind of like quite exciting thought. But it became quite an ordeal really for many years. And to cut a long story short, I will jump now to I think it was about 2007, because I wasn't doing too bad. I'd recorded an album, I was sort of improving on some of my didge playing, it's coming along a bit, and I thought, well, I'll put my name down for playing at a didge festival, in North Devon, Tapley Park. It was Ant Scott's festival, The Gathering. And I put my name down, and I thought, oh, look forward to that. But also I had this awful fear. I thought, oh no, I've nerves about going on stage and playing, and particularly in front of a critical audience where there are some good didge players. So I think the first year I played, I realised I couldn't really relax. I couldn't play as I really wanted to, and I didn't really enjoy it, but it was nice to get up and do it. I'm glad I did it, because I thought, got that out of the way. But I wasn't able to relax properly and really enjoy my playing. And so I had a bit of a hard time of it, and I think so I went home after that performance and thought, need to find a way around this fear. How can I get over it? So anyway, the following year, I can't remember if it was the following year or the year after, I had a sort of a strategy in mind to help me. And I reflected, when I came back from that performance, I reflected sort of months down the line and thought, well, what is it about playing live? Well, why do I suffer with this kind of anxiety and fear and nervousness that actually makes it not enjoyable doing it? Maybe I'm better off not doing it. And I thought, no, that's not the answer. And then I sort of, there was one thing really. I thought, oh, what am I doing when I go and play live? What is it I'm doing? I thought, I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to play perfectly so I don't make any mistakes. That's what I was trying to do. And I thought, I must find a way of not doing that. So what I did, I thought to myself, when I go and play there at the festival next time, or anywhere else maybe, like open mic night, is to play and not worry about making a mistake or making mistakes, and because otherwise, that for me, I think was the one of the big things. So I did that next year. I went up there and played. I can remember actually going in and getting up on stage and thinking, right, I'm going to allow myself to make the odd mistake, or a few mistakes if necessary. I wasn't being paid for it. It wasn't like a professional performance, so I should have been able to just chill out and relax. Well, obviously I couldn't. But anyway, so I did that, and I found afterwards I could actually relax, not completely, but I could relax more with my playing and enjoy it more and actually get into my rhythm and get into my feeling, because that's really, when you're playing, you really need to get into that feeling. All the stuff, anything you've learned has to become automatic, really, and you get into your feeling after that. And I did do it more, so I was quite pleased, because I thought, oh, I can do it, it's possible. It's taken a few years, because I think from, 2000, whenever I went to the open mic night first, to this point, I was like, hadn't cured this problem, and but at least I felt that's something. And I went back after that performance, thought to myself, it's a help not to not to play perfectly, not to kind of not make any mistakes. So that's what I did. I took that into my next sort of playing, wherever I played, and thought I'm just going to not worry too much about getting it right all the time, and if even if the drone stopped or something, just play on, don't worry about it. That's the thing. Don't feel bad about anything, just continue. And that's kind of my approach. That's what I thought this is the way I've got to do it. And because feeling valued and feeling a sense of worth, gives you confidence in yourself. And what I realized was that no matter how good I could be at playing dig, even if it was perfect, it didn't, you could go on stage, play perfectly, and come off and still lack confidence. No matter how perfect you are, no matter how confident you are in your playing, you can still lack inner confidence. And I'm sure you know what I mean by that. If you differentiate having confidence in what you're doing as opposed to having confidence just in yourself, I needed more inner confidence. So that's what I really looked at and reflected on it and sort of worked on that, really. And so anyone out there, if you're out there and you're struggling with playing live or playing just for an open mic session or just with a group of people or whatever it is, I suggest one, just go and try and do it to start with. That might be all you need. But if you've got deeper fear issues like I have had in the past, then kind of it's worth looking at this area and maybe talking to friends about it, or if you're going to play with a group of people you're nervous, talk to them and say, hey, I'm a bit nervous, and encourage you, to do it. If you've got deeper issues, you could maybe even get some therapy, counselling. It doesn't matter, does it really? Whatever's blocking the ability to go out and play and enjoy your playing, it doesn't matter which way, what you use or what you try, to be honest. So anyway, that helped me. And because the thing is, this thing, when I was playing in front of an audience then and went to the festival to play, I realised that, there's no point me trying to play perfectly, because all that's necessarily going to do is cover up this confidence issue. I need to be able to play and make a few mistakes. That's better. Then you can think, so what? Because then you're not worried about what people think. And if you're playing well enough, a few odd mistakes really doesn't matter. You get world-class musicians that play live all the time. They often make mistakes, and they know. And it's not a big deal because they've been playing for years, and you have to kind of get over that in a way. But anyway, that I found really useful. The thing of trying to be perfect when playing. You can train and practice and get if you're going to play professionally, you can train and practice and get everything right. But I still think not trying to be absolutely perfect is a good way to go. being imperfect is perfect for me, because it allows me to play and not worry about making mistakes and think, so what if I made a mistake? So what I would say to people, anyone starting out, is that I couldn't have believed or imagined I would ever play live as a performer. I just couldn't have thought that was possible. I mean, I really mean, if you feel this is not possible, then think again, because it's happened for me and I've managed to do it, and I've managed to get to a place where if I go and play with a few people in a pub, with a group of people, or if I go and play live at a festival, 100 people, a few thousand people, I've learned not to get to... I might get a bit of nerves sometimes, which can be excitable nerves, and you can use that. But I don't have that fear like I used to. I can actually enjoy playing more, and I wouldn't have thought that possible. I would never have thought that was possible before. And it's been worthwhile for me to persist. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It could take, for some people, it might just be a few weeks just doing it and getting on and thinking, hey, this is working. It might be a few months. It might be, like for me, a few years. Now, another thing I'd probably mention is make sure you feel comfortable. Let's just say you're going to an open mic night. Make sure you feel comfortable with where you are and you're playing. Like, for example, if you've been playing a couple of weeks and you've got a drone, and let's just say you do suffer with a lack of inner confidence, and think, oh, well, maybe I'll just go and show it anyway. And then you go and play, and you haven't really been playing enough, and you might not get quite the applause you was hoping, and it might knock you back, So just make sure you feel comfortable where you are, and you'll know everyone's different in that. Somebody might do it after a few months of playing, got a couple of rhythms, think, oh, I'm going to go and do it. Fine. And somebody might do it after 2 or 3 years or something and do it, and that's fine. Don't leave it too long, because if you leave it too long, it's like, oh, you're not facing that fear, that confidence thing that needs to be tackled. So kind of just gauge where you are with it, really. And you don't have to be a great player to go out and play at an open mic night. You just feel, you feel confident enough that you've got enough to show that you feel comfortable playing, So that's what I would say. Just sort of play it by ear. Everyone's different. I can't say to you when you should go, when you shouldn't. It was how I felt about it in myself when I first went to play, and I knew, when you feel, oh, I'm okay, I should do this, and then you've just got to go and do it. And then, as I say, at the same time, tackle the inner confidence issues as well, and try not to go out and play and be too perfect. Even as a professional player these days, I allow myself the ability to not make sure everything's perfect. It's got to be good enough as you've got to be good enough as a performer. I practice and stuff if I'm playing live, but I'm not going to say to myself, that's got to be perfect. I've learned a lesson. Imperfection for me is being perfect. Being, a few odd mistakes never hurt any. Is not a problem. So that's what I would say there. The other thing is also go out, if you do the open mic stuff, maybe go out and do a bit of jamming as well. Learn to jam with people, and that can get your confidence playing with people as well. Because you might play digital and you might one day want to play in a band, and it'd probably be easier if you know the people anyway, but it just gives you more confidence in that area too. And just to say, you've got to go for it and go and do it, but just feel you're in the right place to start, really. So you could try that, breathing exercises. You should breathe through your nose, and into your diaphragm. When you're dig playing, you breathe into your diaphragm. So you can breathe in and then breathe out slowly and try and relax. It can help. Little things like that can help. So that's really all I want to say today. you can do it. And talk to people, that will help. So anyway, I think that's enough of me for the day. I'd say good luck with it, and be kind to yourself and enjoy your own playing, and you will have a lot to offer people if you bring this sound of this didgeridoo to people that never heard it. They love it, I can tell you. Particularly, general audience in a pub, they'll really love to hear it. So there we go. Have fun, enjoy it.